Hello, Blue Devils. I'm Zamaya, and this is Jeremiah, your host today for World Changing 101. We are here with Shuri's alumni, Promise Ewers. She is a student at Indiana University Bloomington and is here today to talk to us about the IU Summer Groups program. Hello, Promise.
Hi.
Okay, first question: how does it feel to be on the interview side of World Changing 101?
It's a little surreal. I remember being in like your guys' position like just a couple months ago, honestly. And so it's kind of weird to like be on the other end now. So it just feels a little weird. It's a little surreal.
I understand that.
For those who don't know, can you briefly explain what the IU Group Summer Program is?
So what the IU Group Summer Program is, it's a 7-week program over after your senior year. So right after you graduate, you're gonna go to IU Bloomington, and you're gonna be living the freshman experience not by yourself, but with a group of 300 or so students who are in the same position as you, and you are just on campus with these 300 incoming freshmen, and you guys get to learn the in and outs of Bloomington and just overall the how it feels to be a freshman before the rest of the school gets here.
So it's like an orientation, you should say.
hmm
Okay, so what kinds of events does the program have?
So with the groups program, there's all types of events. I remember for my year, it might be different because the resident assistants that will be there, they're upperclassmen who did groups before other group students. They through like events every week. We would have like study halls. We had I remember we had a henna event. We had like a slime making event. We had all types of events going on. And there was also other things that we would do, such as like every Sunday we had housekeeping. So we would go to this hall and we would talk about the week. And for my summer, it was the Olympic summer. So during groups, we had an Olympic. While we were doing school, we also had like an Olympic thing going on, and where like we would do events and whatever. It's honestly like a lot going on. Like they would throw like little parties every so often. I know for 4th of July we had a back outside event and had a water gun fight. So they make it really fun because the with groups you're gonna be there for the summer, and a lot of people are already upset because not upset but like kind of sad that that's their first summer away from home, and a lot of people kind of like, oh, I didn't want to give up my summer. So what the RAs and the everybody else tries to do is try to make the experience not only like an educational experience to help you get through your first year, but also to have fun while you're here. Because who doesn't have fun? Like,
What are can you can you list some of your favorite experience from the program?
yeah. So my favorite, I have a couple. Like I mentioned, the back outside, it was a big water gun fight that was really fun. Um, I had we had a G Underground event, which stands for Groups Underground, and it was the last party thrown for the groups program. That was pretty fun. Um, we had a Spirit Week where we had a like the last day was like Throwback Friday or something. So the throwback party was pretty fun. The Olympic events were pretty fun. We had a lip sync battle at the end of it, and my team won. So my team won, and yeah, I think the Olympics, the G Underground, the throwback party, the back outside event, and then I don't know. There was also like a lot of random little stuff we would do too, but yeah, those were my top four.
Okay, so can you now talk about the transition from the summer experience to attending classes at the beginning of this semester?
Yeah. So with that, it was like a weird transition because in groups you have 2 classes a day. Depending on the class you're in or whatever you have to do, you may have to have like a little tutoring meeting or tutoring session after the classes, like a couple hours later. But it was a very like easy. Every day was just like 2 classes every day, pretty much the same schedule every week. With transitioning into the actual semester, I don't have 2 classes every day. I have like more of a spaced out schedule, and also it's like the amount of people on campus is completely different from when I was over the summer, because it was just me and my little like 300 people who and most of them were students of color. And now transitioning into the fall, I'm going to a predominantly white institution with a lot of people who don't look like me. So it's a very like weird transition to go into, because I'm so used to like the same core people I saw every day to now like I'm seeing different faces every day. A lot of them don't look like me, or a lot of them don't like share the same values as me. So it was a kind of a weird transition, but it wasn't as hard when it comes to like going to classes and doing the work, because I already had that built in from the summer.
Are there any lasting connections you made during the program?
Yeah. I made a lot of connections during groups. I became close with my RA. Her name was Lakira. I'm really close to Lakira. She's really nice. I've also made a lot of friends. I've also met like there's like a bias director here, and like he helps with like incidents or whatever, if you believe that it was like a racially biased or whatever type of bias incident. The director, he was like the housing is like the main housing guy, and so he was like close talking to everybody. He was really close. I got close to like the director. I got close to like a lot, and there's like obviously like a lot of the friends I made over the summer as well. But like the big names I made was like the bias director guy, and then the associate director of the groups program. So I made some good connections. Yeah.
Okay, so this program sounds very interesting. So how did you find it out?
So I personally knew the groups program from my brother Zion, who he went in 2019, and he told me he liked the experience. And I was like, at that time I was like in middle school, so I didn't really like think about that experience too much, because I was like, I just wasn't thinking about college at the time. And so then when I came to high school, it was my senior year, I kind of remembered when my brother was talking about how like the groups experience was really fun and how he really liked it. And I ended up talking to Mrs. Armstrong and Miss Butler and Miss Denny, and they all helped me get my get the papers I need or whatever to fill out the application for groups, and I did the application to groups. So
Was there any factor that made you want to participate?
Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. It's like obviously like the scholarship part of the groups program definitely made me want to do it, because for me, now groups doesn't like fully like some people try to tell you it's a full ride. Now for everybody, it's not a full ride. But for me, in my case, because I had the full amount of like FAFSA or whatever, it was a like pretty much a full ride program for me. So the scholarship aspect was like, not only was it like the scholarship aspect like alone, I was covered for school and I was happy about that. It was also the fact that I got to learn about being a college student, because I'm also a first generation college student. So I didn't know anything about college really. Like my mom couldn't tell me much, and my brother, who did do the Goose program, ended up leaving early, and he didn't really have much to say about it, because he already knew we were gonna have 2 different experiences. So I had to go into college by myself, and getting my own experience for the first time was also like a major factor for me as well.
Okay, so how has the IU Summer Groups program helped you personally?
So the groups program helped me realize that college is not like high school. It's not like high school, not like at all. But with like, it was just like that transition from high school to college was very like, when I did to like high school to groups was a very like kind of surreal moment, because I was so used to like in high school, like honestly in high school, I'm not saying you can get away with studying, but I got away with studying a lot, and I didn't have to really study for stuff. I would just come in and do the test, and I would get like 100. Like that was just me. But with like in groups, I can't do that. Like I, not gonna lie, I messed up like on like 2 tests because I thought I could just go in there and be like, oh, I don't gotta study. College made me realize I gotta really actually study for like my grade and to get a good grade on stuff, and I can't just be like coming in there acting like I just know everything because I don't. And college just really helped me. I mean, yeah, that transition just really made me realize about like, okay, I have to take my academics more seriously. I have to actually set aside time for studying. I can't hang out with my friends every 24/7 like I want to. I got to actually sit down and study. It made me more responsible. Yeah, it just made me more responsible.
That's good to hear. Um, how do you feel as an African American student in the IU summer groups program?
So in a groups program, I'm not gonna lie, almost everybody is African American. Almost everybody. But for the most, it's actually very diverse. Let me not, but it's very diverse. But as like an African American student, it was very refreshing because everybody looked like me or shared the same values as me, or everybody was at least a person of color. So for the most part, almost because the whole groups program is also about like diversity, equity, and inclusion. So they try to they're purposely looking for students of color to bring it to the program because they want students of color. Because IU is all about diversity and equity. And so being like an African American in the groups program, it was very refreshing. It was very like, it made me happy because I knew that like in the fall, come the fall, it just going like for like the next 3 years, I'm gonna be here. I'm not gonna see a lot of faces, a lot of faces like mine, in just like everyday setting. Like obviously there's like Black organizations on the campus I can go to, but just regular, like in some of my classes I am the only like African American. So the groups program helped me like feel like I'm at home without, yeah, it helped me feel like I'm at home and without feeling like I'm like an outcast.
Okay, so how could you convince incoming students to give up their summer to participate in this program?
I'm gonna be honest. Honestly, I could convince somebody, but it's truly if they want to. But for me, if you don't want to give up your summer for whatever reason, but you want to go to college, I would say really think about the scholarship part. If you're a 21st century scholar, it's a little bit different. But if you don't have that like if you don't have the 21st century scholarship, but you really want to go to college, I really think you should do groups for the scholarship aspect of it. But also, if we want to talk, like, just completely forget about money for a second, I would do groups because that's your first time. For me, that was my first time without my parents on my back every day. Like, my mom couldn't have been like, "Oh, Promise, get up to go to class." You know, well, I went to class because you have to go to class in groups, but like it wasn't like my mom was on my back every 2 seconds. It wasn't like I had that, like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it, but like in high school, like your parents are always tell you get up, go to school, go to school, whatever. And it's just like when you're in groups, it's like you're on your own, but it's like a good type of freedom, you know. Like there'd be times like on the weekends where I would be having a night walk with my friends at like 12 a.m. and my mom just wasn't there to tell me no. So you get to get that like sense of freedom when you do groups.
I understand that even though the program starts in the summer, participation can last the entire 4 years. Explain that looks like for a student. I'm sorry.
So with groups, even though you do it over the summer, even though you do it over the summer, you can also go back as a resident assistant, and they give you about $3,000 at the end of the summer for going back as an assistant to help plan the events and do like all this extra stuff with them. And then you can even like upgrade to like being like the direct, like the like assistant right under the like director of the housing program for groups. And like with groups, they also have like things like peer mentoring and stuff that I'm a part of, or like all group students are a part of, where we have older group scholars who help us with like the transition into to college. And yeah, so with the groups program, it's just we have like little things to keep everybody together and keep you a part of the groups program until you graduate, because a lot of people will like get this scholarship and be like, okay, I'm done, like I don't care about nothing else, like I don't care about groups no more. But like with how the groups are doing it right now and probably going forward, they're having more interactive stuff to keep us participating for like the next 4 years. If that answers your question, I hope it does.
It does.
Okay, so say we as students wanted to participate. What do we need to do in order to participate in the program?
So first, you need to be a graduating student. So you have to be graduating high school this year. Or even going forward, even if you're not graduating this year, but you want to do it like when after you graduate high school, you need to be graduating high school. I think you need like at a minimum of like a 2.0 GPA. And you have to show that you need financial need. So if you are well off, most likely I'm not saying they won't, but they typically do not allow people who are like well off into the groups program, if that makes sense. Like you typically need to be showing that you financial need. And when they had me apply, I had to answer 3 questions, and those questions are pretty in-depth. Like they're not looking for like a sentence or 2. You need to write about a paragraph for each of those questions. And I think one of the questions they asked me was like, where do I see myself in 10 years? You have to put a lot of thought in your questions, and make sure you apply by if you are a senior now and you were interested in the groups program or interested in looking at Bloomington and wanted to do the groups program, you need to apply by November 1st. Yeah, you need to apply by November 1st. So you can get, because the deadline ends at November 1st. So yeah, you need to apply by November 1st.
Okay, seniors, y'all hear that?
Can you describe a memorable experience you have had so far as an IU student?
I've had a couple, I'm not gonna lie. But there was this Greek life thing going on, and I saw a lot of like D9 organizations. So I saw the Poodle Stroll. That's the Sigma Gamma Rho. If you don't know, like D9 is like black fraternities and sororities. And at the time, I was kind of like not seeing a lot of I seen a lot of like black culture here at IU. And then when I was at this culture fest, that's what it was, the culture fest, I saw all types of cultures, like not even just black culture. I saw Hispanic, I saw Arab culture, I saw all types of culture. And it was a very like refreshing feeling. And I had saw the Divine Nine and like all these different like Greek life organizations like doing their like strolling and their like dancing or whatever, and doing their chants. And that was a really nice experience. I also saw everybody, I think like the Cupid Shuffle or something came on. I'm not gonna lie. The Cupid Shuffle came on, and like everybody that was at the event just literally got in this big like square and started doing it. Like it was the Culture Fest was definitely top 10. It's definitely up there. I'm not gonna lie. That Culture Fest was up there.
Sounds fun.
Mm-hmm. So what experiences at Shortridge High School prepared you the most for your time at IU Bloomington?
I'm not gonna lie. And everybody's gonna like, some people are gonna be like, The IB program kind of did help. The IB program kind of helped me with the with like the writing aspect, because if you know like juniors and like seniors or whatever, that you guys got to start that EERP and all that type of IAs or whatever, and we got to do all that. And yeah, that's a lot of writing. I'm not gonna lie. Back in high school, I don't even know how I did it, honestly. But when I came to college, it became like second nature to be writing these long papers, because I'm not gonna lie, like these teachers will be like, yeah, you gotta go write 7 pages by tomorrow, and you just be like you don't know what to do. But with like, well, some people don't know what to do. For me, I feel like Shortridge prepared me for like writing these long papers and being like planning out how my writing is and whatnot. So I think like just the IB program overall and like the whole like EE and RP and IA type of aspect really helped me prepare for college.
Okay.
What advice would you give students about choosing a college or university?
Um, I kind of have like two pieces of advice. Kind of, it's one of them is go for where you want to go. Don't go for what your friend want to go to. Don't go for what your mom is trying to tell you to go to. None of that. You should do what you want to do, and follow your heart. If your heart tell you want to go all the way out to California and go to UCLA, and you have the means to do that, go to UCLA. But also I want to say that make sure that if you do follow your heart, whatever, make sure you have the financial aid and money to do that. Understand, I feel like students need more financial aid literacy and understanding the scholarship aspect of everything and the just that whole like money wise, because I'm not gonna lie to you, I kind of walked in there acting like I wasn't gonna have to pay no money. I don't have to pay any money, but I forgot about like the reality of it. Like some people will have to pay money. Like I know like next semester, or not next semester, I'm sorry, like probably coming next, my sophomore year at college, probably going to be living off campus and actually having to pay real bills and like real stuff. And my scholarship gives me the opportunities to do that. But I'm just saying for like, in general, like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really know much about like the whole money aspect and like getting stuff charged to your bill or whatever. I didn't know that. So I think understanding your financial having financial literacy and also going where your heart tells you to go, not where everybody else is going or telling you to go.
Okay. How did your transition from Shortridge High School to IU Bloomington shape your academic and personal growth?
So, academic wise, I kind of like did not do my. I'm not gonna say I didn't do my best. I did well academic time at Shortridge. During my time at Shortridge, I did well academically, but I didn't do the best I could, especially in my lower classmen years. I kind of was just doing whatever I wanted to do because I was like a freshman and sophomore. I was online for my freshman year, so I definitely thought I could do whatever I want. And then my sophomore year, I came in for the first time, and I also kind of thought I could do whatever I want because it was like a whole different principal at the time, and it was a whole bunch of stuff. And so then my upperclassmen years, I started realizing like, oh, I was slipping, and my GPA was lower than I wanted it to be, and all this stuff. And so when I came to college, I was like, I wasn't gonna do that same thing I did in high school, where I wasn't gonna take my freshman and sophomore year seriously, because in college it's a little different. Once your GPA is low in college, it's impossible to get it back up. I'm gonna be honest, like it's extremely hard to get it back up. And when you have scholarships and stuff that require you to be like at least like a 3.0 or like a 2.5 or whatever, and you add like a 2.0, you might lose some of that money and not go to school next year. So it's like college really just like the academic aspect of it really changed me as a person coming from Shortridge college, because I was just not doing my best academically, and yeah, I'm doing my stuff and whatever. So, but personally, it also changed me as a person. Being like, as some of you know, like I was the president of BSU for like 2 school years during Shortridge, something like that. I was on student government. I did a whole bunch of stuff my senior year. And coming now, a lot of the leadership lessons I learned as a junior and senior has helped me like with like personal like relationships and stuff like that now, and has helped me like understand who I am as a person now. So yeah.
Is it?
Before we get to the last question, can you tell us what type of research you do on colleges to find the best college that fits us?
Say that one more time.
What research on colleges should we do as high school students to find the best college that fits us?
So look into okay. So I would start with what I want to do. Right. What do you want to do as a in college? Do you have a career in mind? Or even if you don't, because you can go into college undecided. A lot of people go into college undecided or career exploration, or like they do like a very like exploratory major to help them figure out what they want to do later on. I would try to go into think about. I would start with like, what are you interested in? What do you want to learn more about? Why do you want to go to college? That would be my first question. Why do you want to go to college? Some people are like, yeah, I want to go to college and make money. Well, how are you gonna make money? Like, what are you gonna do? So, I would say start about what you want to do, and then after that, once you get an idea of what you want to do, even if it's like, oh, I want to do business, but I'm not sure. You can be like in a business exploratory major. See what schools offer that. So figure out what you want to do. When you do figure out what you want to do, go look at schools that have good programs for that, or like programs that you are like, okay, I like how this program is set up. Like for me, I am a social work major, and so I went to IU Bloomington because of their like new, it's like kind of a fresh school of social work, and they also do a study abroad program where I can go to like South Korea, my junior year, to work with like students in South Korea and stuff for like that experience as a social work major. So look into like what you want to do, like also like that study abroad. Like I said, see what schools offer good study abroad. See what schools offer these like good organizations. Maybe you are interested in joining Greek life when you are a junior, sophomore, or whatever, or even if you want to like rushing your freshman year or whatever. See what schools offer like the Greek life you're looking into. I would start off with small things like that, like what I'm interested in, what organizations I'm interested in, what career aspects I'm interested in, and then see what schools fit you for that. Like, for example, if you're interested in business, maybe consider Bloomington because Kelly's like the top business school in the country. So I would look at that. Maybe you're interested in doing dentistry. Look at IUI. IUI is really big with dentists. So yeah, that's what I would do.
I want to do dentist, be a dentist for my major. But well, that's all the time we have here today. Short Ridge Blue Devils. I want to thank Promise for taking time out her day to talk about her IU summer program and her college experience. And thank you, Short Ridge, for tuning in another episode of World Changer 101. I'm your host, Jeremiah Rutland, and this is
Zamaya.